Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Sean from How to RPG. Thanks for joining me in this video where I stream every Saturday morning at 8 Central Time US. Talk about role-playing games and what's going on with help from the chat. So, thank you. We have people file in. See how things are going on this fine Saturday morning. It is April 22nd is when I'm recording this, 2023. I come to you from the wonderful state of Wisconsin, where currently on April 22nd, 2023, it is snowing outside. Not something I'm overly happy with. Anyways, I want to test and make sure everything's good to go. Yeah, sultry. What's up, Joe Swick? Napoleon, hello, good morning. Good to see Napoleon and Joe. Thanks for chiming in. I might as well probably close my YouTube channel to prevent any echo. What is the good word? I'm going to give you guys a question today. Probably make you think a little bit. So here's the situation. I'll try to recap it very quickly. You're going on a tabletop role-playing game cruise. You get to bring your entire RPG collection. And on that cruise, and eventually that cruise, you're having a good time, playing with a bunch of different friends, different games. It's a convention on the sea. And all of a sudden, the ship encounters turmoil and eventually starts to sink. You can save one RPG book to take with you on that deserted island. What book would it be? RPG based. You don't have any other books with you. Delta Green. Which one? Which one, Napoleon? The Handler's Guide? Or the Agent Handbook? Maybe perhaps something else? I may let you get away with the slipcase. Oh, Impossible Landscapes. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Hot take. This might sidetrack things, but hot take. Delta Green, one of the hardest RPGs to run. Maybe. My experience. Been reading like crazy. It is a beast. It is a beast. I should share something with you, Napoleon. Like I'm running it now. If you on the channel, I have the actual play recorded. If you're reading it, so you're spoiling it for yourself. But there's I'm running it now. There is an entire 100 pages that the group hasn't even touched. They just went right by it. So interesting. Because I think it all starts out the same. Any AP, it starts out in the McAllister building. But after that, forget about it. After the first chapter, you don't even the second chapter and how it starts and where it goes. All just different direction for every group, probably. I mean, sometimes we say you could take a role-playing game, same scenario, and never have the same experience. Jeez. But Delta Green seems, especially Impossible Landscapes, and that's published. It's not even a homebrew. Well, good morning. Get some slow risers this morning. Just Napoleon Joe. Yeah, I've noticed there's so much cool stuff in the book, and I think now what player is going to do that? Drawing on Lewis's artwork. Right, yes. Joe says it's how we roll. Is that the book you're talking about? Tad, good morning. Question du jour. You're on a tabletop role-playing game cruise. You get to bring your entire RPG library. Unfortunately, the cruise encounters a storm and starts to sink. You can grab only one role-playing game book to take with you. Which one would it be? Morning, Todd. Morning, Wayne. Earth Dawn First Edition Core Book, says Todd Crapper of Broken Ruler Games. Earth Dawn. I've never played Earth Dawn. It's the precursor to Shadowrun, right? It's that premise. Joe says, I'm tempted to say AD&D 2EPHB. Isn't that funny? You put that anywhere else, nobody knows what that means. Can you imagine? You are a lay person and you're like, AD&D 2EPHB. That says my copy that's a hardcover turned softcover with the spine worn off. That mofo is worn out for being read so much. Nice. Wayne says the poor porters are going to hate getting me on the damn boat with all these games. That is true. Let's hope it never happens. Well, the circumstances anyway. Not sure about the Shadowrun connection. Never played it. My understanding is Earth Dawn is the world before it became Shadowrun, right? Like, I don't know how closely they're tied, but maybe it's just a meta thing people might have made up. Come on, Wayne. One book. Joe, you haven't. Oh, you did say something. Tempted to say AD&D Second Edition. Today's question's too hard. Come on, Tad. Hey, I'm gonna give props to the people that have just given me one book. Because whenever I ask a question that's like, hey, what, this, that, whatever, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite setting? People are like, this one, and this one. Like 2 or 3. Come on, Ted. Dig deep, buddy. Joe says if I need to lock it in, I'll say it's a final answer. Congratulations, Joe. You win a pat on the back. Todd Crapper Earth Dawn shares a lot with Forgotten Realms, Forgotten Lands. With the Forgotten Lands in the sense that it's about exploring unexplored territory. You are referring to Forbidden Lands, Mr. Crapper, I believe. Earth Dawn could totally be run with Forbidden Lands. Interesting. Joe says, yeah, I could have said other books that impacted me in gaming, but nothing did more than that. PHB. We all got that once. Got that soft spot for that one. Come on, Tad. Sip that coffee. Wake up. Come up with that answer. Look at this. Look at the shelf behind you. It's all right, Todd. It's okay. You are forgiven. For you are not a shill for the free Liga. Got a lot of stuff to cover today, I think. Interesting things, I guess. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Harriet says, leaving my books, taking my iPad, not an optional answer. No. In this situation, there is no digital. Nice try. Because your iPad goes bad. It gets hit with salt water. The book you get to put into a plastic bag. But you can't put the iPad in the plastic bag because it's already been damaged. I feel like a game master trying to adjudicate an obnoxious player. Wayne Peacock says OSC Classic Fantasy Rules Tome. But then the camera focuses on as the tears and snot run down my face. Tears and snot run down my face. That's from a song, right? Some lyrics there. OSC Classic Fantasy Rules Tome. Nice. Tad, I'm thinking more about which one would have the most utility playability if I'm left with just one game to play. Well, and it could also be where, do you need the book of a game that you already know the rules for really well? Ty Prunty, Fate Condensed. Not Fate Accelerated. Not Fate Core. Not Fate whatever. Fate Condensed. I've seen the diagram of Fates. Fate Condensed, Ty says, because all games before and after can be played in Fate Condensed. Todd says, yeah, Sean, our characters wouldn't do that. There's no way my guy is going to only save one book. Arrogant says, also no way to charge. Ah, that's true. Yeah, you'd be SOL. That's a good one. See, Harrigan's a better GM than I am. He can come up with things quicker and faster. That's a good point. Ty says, same can be said with Cortex Prime. Oh! Ty, I think you're the first one in the chat that listed 2. Kinda. Not really. Wayne says, go with your gut, folks. Yeah, just go with your gut. Hey, look at it this way. It's not a real situation, so be thankful, okay? Hopefully it never is a real situation. At least you'll never have your entire RPG collection on a cruise with you. Unless you're with Harrigan and he has his iPad, which totally makes sense, by the way. Tad says, I'll pick Mutant Year Zero for a similar reason. He's either referring to Ty or he's saying thank you. Todd Crapper, you know, this is a shipwreck. Then maybe we could choose a boxed set. Then we can spread out all the books inside to make a raft and float our way back to land. I would only expect as much from player characters. Come on, Harrigan. He can't answer. That's why he's dancing. Like my chief in the military, whenever he'd ask a question and you like weren't sure or you were trying to deflect, like, why are you late to formation? And you'd say, well, chief, and he'd say, oh, starting to dance, dancing around the question. Dance. Todd says, if Sean ever invites any of us onto a boat, do not bring your RPG collection. Got a bad feeling about this. Michael Holland, good morning. Michael, you're going on a cruise. It's a role-playing game convention at sea. You can bring your entire role-playing game collection. Porters will bring it. They'll stack it up in these big, huge mobile shelving and just roll them up into the cruise, and you can grab any book you want at any time while you're enjoying the convention. But then the boat hits turmoil. Massive storm, boat starts to sink. You can grab one RPG book to take with you, assuming you'll hit a deserted island. Which book would it be? Harrigan, Cortex Prime, not a bad choice, would make a nice fire on the beach. Shots fired. Wayne says, I don't own Fatal, but it would be a good choice as kindling and toilet paper. Oh, come on now, guys. Come on. There might be a Fatal lover in the chat. You're peeing all over their favorite game. Ty says, I get that a lot. Does Ty mean they are talking about me or thank you? Yeah, I'm not very original, Ty. Roger French, morning. Ty says, Harrigan, ouch, I was thinking the same things about D&D. All right. Harrigan says, I would not grab something I know well, right? So he's explaining what's going through his head. It's a crazy place there, folks. Like Fate, ICRPG, or the Black Hack. Yeah, well, there you go. Because as soon as you hit the desert or the deserted island and you find something to write with, you could just write those rule books down before you forget them. and then all of a sudden now you have 3 or 4 RPGs. Todd says, this would make for a good Knives Out style scenario for a mystery RPG. Die-hard RPG collectors arrive on a yacht, etc., etc. No credit necessary. No royalties needed, just so you know. Roger French says, probably the World of Greyhawks box set. Oh, you see, Roger's trying to skirt it a little bit. He's going the box set. I don't know, Roger. I don't know about that. Maybe the box comes apart and you can only pick one of those pamphlets. I don't know. Maybe a box set. I guess I'm flexible. That's the kind of game master I am. I'm flexible. Okay. Harrigan is now he's got a whole nother set of wheels turning. Napoleon says, that's actually a neat idea, to grab something you don't know and learn it with all the time on the island. Chris, the situation is you are going on a cruise, an RPG convention at sea, and you can bring your entire RPG collection. Somebody will pick it up, put it in huge crates, roll it up onto the ship, and you have it at your disposal for 7 days of the cruise. All of a sudden, the cruise runs into a crazy storm, hits something, starts to sink, and you can only grab one RPG book, assuming to take with you on a deserted island. What RPG book is it? It could be RPG related too. It doesn't have to be like, it could be, Robin's Law's Hit Points or whatever. Is it Hit Points? Yeah, Hamlet's Hit Points. Like something along those lines if you want. That's fine. But it's got to be RPG related. We have one, I think Roger is the only one that mentioned a setting. I think, right, Roger? I think so. Thank you for the compliment, Chris. It is one of my favorite shirts, actually. Like comfort, fit, message. No bundle. No bundles. Come on now. You guys are you're just typical players. Like, come on now. Don't be that player, okay? Tempted to say Burning Wheel. Wow. Let's just make it Burning Empires, man. Nice, thick, rich book. Chris says Dungeon World. Michael Holland says, ouch, tough one. I think I would grab my first printing of Deities and Demigods. The one with Cthulhu and Melabonian content. That or the Moldvay Basic I've been playing with since I was a kid. Michael, I think you're the first one. Are you the first one to put up 2? To say 2? 3? 2? 2? That's technical foul. Every time with these questions, there's more than one like favorite RPG, favorite setting. Always a person that says more than one. Todd Crepper, I bring my working draft of Sean's future autobiography. Get that out of here. Nick Abruzzo. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you could join. Nick, I'm looking for an answer from you as well. No laying in the weeds. Demon Grinder, if you're in the chat, you too. Gabe Dibbing. Although I probably know Gabe's answer. Maybe I'd be surprised. I don't know if they're here. I'm not looking. I'm not out. So. Tad says, oh, Harrigan, Burning Wheel, strong choice. Roger French, Eberron campaign setting for 3.5. Okay, so Roger's he's readjusting. He's getting rid of the box set. Okay. All right, trying to bring the ball back in bounds. It says Eberron campaign setting for 3.5. And I like that choice. You could play any game with that, right? If you wanted to. Chris says, I can play Dungeon Roll for years and have the ability to craft content for it. That's a good reason. Ty says, John Wick has a book with a lot of settings in it I might pick. Yeah. If you find out what that book is, Ty, put it in the chat. I'm interested. I don't think it's Play Dirty. I don't think that's the one you're referencing. That's the one I think I know him most for non-game specific book. Like, Harrigan says, I've settled to a few. Just need to decide. See, Harrigan's trying. He's trying to be a good player. Like, he knows he has multiple answers, but in the spirit of the game, he's taking some time to come up with one. Michael Holland, oops, I broke the rules. My bad. That's all right, Michael. You will not be on that island for long. We'll send somebody for you. What's the question? Favorite setting? No. Oh, you joined late. Nick, if you're going on a cruise, okay? It's an RPG cruise. Consider it a convention at sea. And you can bring your entire role-playing game collection with you. And then the ship is about to sink and encounter stormy weather. And you can only save one book to take with you on the life raft to the deserted island, what have you. What book is that? Todd says, can't help but notice this is very typical of RPGers to take 20 minutes to make a decision during an emergency. Instead of being a tense moment of action, it turns into a media scrum of questions. Is it a big C? Is it possible that some of my books are actually on a floating part of the wreckage? Dude, this is so meta, right? This is all so meta. You guys are hilarious. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate that. Made my day. And there's Napoleon. Am I allowed to take a blank notebook? Or is the one game book literally my only allowed book? Ooh. I don't know. I guess you could do blank notebook, I suppose. I guess. I don't know if a blank notebook would necessarily be RPG related. It can be. It can become eventually an RPG book, I suppose. I will allow it. I'm a gracious game master and host. Wayne says, since you opened up the Pandora's box, oh boy, I'll go with my Black Hack box set. It has dice. See, Wayne changed it up. But it's because I revised the previous rule. So since that has been established, that can change everything that's moving forward. Fantastic. Thanks, Wayne. Todd says, Wayne, we got good call. Todd says, The Big Book of Little Games by John Wick is the one I know. Oh, okay. Good to know, man. Thank you for providing that, Ty. Tad says, Todd, I was thinking the same thing. We'd all drown while deciding. You'd get none. 0. Nick says, if you asked boxed set, I'd have a different answer. But if it's a book, first print of Carcosa by Jeffrey McKinney. Oh. Very well. Ty says, Nick, we try to use that answer. Roger French. Ooh, Tome of Adventure Design. Okay. That's 3 from Roger. 1 kind of skewed the rules a little bit. But, now you're on book 2. Cool. I don't know about this, Roger. Michael says, if we critically succeed our survival check, can we legally take 2 books? This isn't a game. I also love how you guys have turned this into a game, right? I guess that's my fault for calling you players. Critically succeed on a survival check. Oh boy. Roger says he would take Tomo Adventure Design. Then he'd be able to create content for games I already know the system of. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Todd says, at Tad Lackman, laugh out loud. Now that's player agency. I'd rather drown than decide. Tell my family I love them and they never understood me. Nick, foul. No box sets, dude. Ben, good to see you. Ben Nash. Thanks for joining, man. Tough call. But maybe Haunted Almanac by Nate Trem. Is it Trem? Treme? Interesting. Haunted Almanac. Wow. Now you want to make me Google that and find out what that's all about. Roger says, merely providing answers for my fellow BSers. He's the helpful player at the table. He's trying to help the ones that are stumped and not being able to come up with what they want to do. Todd says, it's what we do, baby. Ty says, if we all end up on the same island, then we all should pick different games and trade when we are done and memorized each book. That's all right, Ty. Ty's thinking. So the I could just see this playing out. Okay, so the ship is sinking, right? Can I have a skill check to save more than 1 book? No, I'm afraid not. Is it possible that some of the books might be floating and maybe there's like a raft that's not full of people and that there might be space for more than 1 book? No. Okay. All right, great. So are we all on the same cruise together and like going to end up at the same place? Because then I think we should all coordinate as the boat is sinking. That's so hilarious. Isn't that every game? Okay, let me, as the game master, let me reframe this. The boat is sunk. We'll just say it's gone. And every RPG you ever have had is gone except for that one. Okay, so you're saying I can't go back and grab them. Come on, man. You got like 5 seconds before you can grab one. And if you don't get to grab one at all. And Michael continues, oh, can we vote other players off the island and then pick more books? Oh, man. Guys are something else. See, this is what I'm talking about. If I were to do this just as a solo show and no chat, we wouldn't have this. Whatever this is. Chris says, why are you gamers trying to game the system? Never mind. You're all a bunch of gamers. Yeah. When in Rome. Roger French, classic GM move, changing the parameters of the scenario after the players ask the hard questions. If one of the players is missing, can I take one of their books so they have it when they come back? No. And I'm not even going to do a yes, but, no, but, yes, and. I'm just going to say no. Can we just say no? Can we just make that an acceptable answer in role-playing games? If one of the players is missing, can I take one of their books so they can have it when they come back? No. It'd be trash. Would be trash without the chat, Chris says. Well, geez, man. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Nick says, maximizing fun and utility while considering rarity. Not easy. Yeah, indeed. Wayne Peacock, Lord of the Flies, second edition. Nick, did you give your answer, Sean? Of course I didn't. No, I did not. Because as I'm talking, I'm not thinking. And if I'm not thinking, I can't come up with one. Roger says, well, I have some stars and wishes about this game. Oh, I almost killed myself with my microphone. Oh, man, Chris, we love you, Sean. I'm just messing around. Of course. I know. I had thicker skin than that. Not very much, but that's hilarious. What would mine be? Yeah, I thought about this when I thought about the question because I'm like, these guys are going to then turn it around on me. Weird. That's not fair. We have to make a choice. You should be able to. You should have to too. Oh. Man, that's a tough one. There's so many. There's so many. I know. Where's Harrigan? He hasn't even decided. Where is he? He's not getting away from this. I know I'm stalling. Dancing. That's Sean's dance. Napoleon says, I guess my choice of a specific campaign is somewhat limiting, but I also feel like with my notebook you allowed, I would make more for Delta Green. Sean would pick Fantasy Flight Games, Star Wars, Edge of the Empire. I don't know. That's a good one for sure. Todd knows to some degree. I mean, but it kind of goes back to, do you pick a game that you know, or do you pick one that you don't know really well because then you would need the book to reference? Right? Or do you pick like a utility book like Roger in the Tome of Adventure Design? Right? So you can use that to kind of create other things like that are different systems that you already might have in your brain. So it's a source of like creativity when your creative juices stop flowing. Is it something big? Does the size the size matter? Don't answer that. But is it like, sometimes the smaller form games, you might not need, but the bigger ones, Harrigan, no, not two, no. You get 20 minutes too, Sean. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's fair. Wayne says, Harrigan's on the island. We have snuck into the last boat with all his books. Todd says, can we have a bio break? I just want to look at photos of my collection at home. Harrigan says, books I cannot internalize or don't already know. Yeah, see? Harrigan's onto something there. Tad says, for Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars, you'd have to carve funky dice out of coconut shells. Yeah, that's true. Although they do have a table if you just have regular dice. Todd says, you know what they say about gamers with big books. Harrigan says, if one book, DCC, loads of content I cannot memorize, need it as a reference, has adventures, can be used as a weapon. And you could probably, if you memorize some of the class stuff, which isn't a lot, right? It's like a 2-page spread. You could probably use those to like burn. No burning RPG books. Harrigan is, he thinks things through. He's smart guy. Smart player at the table. He's just looking at every avenue. Nick says utility AD&D first edition DMG is pretty awesome. Tons of tables, rules for campaign. Harrigan says one box, Forbidden Lands or the Black Hack or one box. 2, 3, 4. Can't stop me. Gabe Dibbing. I'm guessing it's one book on a desert island. Swords and Wizardry complete. See, Gabe's no fuss, no muss. He knows the deal. He doesn't even sum up the situation. Deserted island, just me, one book, got it. Swords and Wizardry complete. Let's go. Next. See, Gabe is he's the one that's ready for, it's my turn. It's my initiative, my go. I got this. Boom. He's the magic user that knows exactly what spell to cast when it's his turn. Boom. Bam. Harrigan says the runner-up, oh God, Shadow of the Demon Lord. Serious everything in one book. Spells, monsters, etc. Still haven't answered the question, but I'm not past my 20 minutes yet. We're deep into this already. It's good stuff, though. Good stuff. DCC's a solid choice by Wayne. You can also look at the pretty pictures. Todd says this would be a great series. Gilligan's Island, but with gamers who try to keep their campaign going after being shipwrecked on an island. Nick says no boxes for you. If so, I'd say Empire of the Petal Throne. I own it. Never played. Crazy depth. Interesting setting. Nick, have you met Victor Raymond? I'll have to remind me if you come up to Gamehole Con sometime or I get to Gary Con. Wayne says, Sean does not realize that I also have Fate Accelerated and Merkborg in my Black Hack box for the win. You have an 8.5 by 11 box. It is 2 inches deep. What do you fill it with? I don't think you guys could even do that. Here, you have a container. It can only fit 3 games. What would it be? You guys would be like, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. There he is. Somewhere an alarm is going off at Modifius, Gabe. Modifius is yesterday's news for Gabe. Ever since they lost the Conan license. Nick says, nope, never did. I'll introduce you next time if I think about it. He knew Barker, didn't know him that well. Let me just say that. But, he's on the Tecamel Society thing, board or whatever. He has a lot of knowledge on Empire of the Petal Throne and Tecamel. I would consider him the resident expert within the hobby. Tad says now it's an inventory management exercise. All right, now let's move forward. Okay, now you're all on the island. What do you do? No, I'm just kidding. Is it a Pelican case or a shoebox? Or interesting. Played a con game with one of Mars players, Shreen or something from Minnesota. Oh, interesting. Ty says, I still stand by Fate or Cortex Prime. All the games you all pick can be played in those systems. I know Fate too well, so my final choice is Cortex Prime. Final answer, Ty says. Look, it's the one game that can do it all. One game it can do it all. Why play any other game? I don't understand it. Cortex Prime is a good choice. You can play a bunch of stuff, assuming you have dice. All right, fair. I'll give you Cortex Prime on that premise because, unlike my former co-host, Mr. Brett, I'm dancing Harrigan. I would say, like D&D, yes, you can do anything with it, but it doesn't do everything well. Cortex is better suited for that thing, I would imagine, only because it's it is truly more tools based and coming up with it. I got it right here. I should probably read it. I just want to make sure Ty knew, like, hey man. Okay. It's not lost on me. It is because I haven't read it, but all right. So for me, might have to go over to the shelf. It's also like very much a, it's like your favorite song. I think it can be this can be very in the moment, right? Like, really? Yeah. Well, ask me tomorrow when I'm in a funky mood. It'd be another choice, right? So for me, I would probably have to say, gosh, and frankly, it could be any real RPG for me because I don't really know any of the rules like solid. Just I don't think so. Many of you, I would say, probably have one go-to game that you really know the rules really, really well. Like you don't know, you literally don't need the book, because you could just, and that may be just because of the game. Like Swords and Wizardry Complete might be just, well, I don't need to know the rules because it's kind of like rulings over rules, so I don't need to look at what movement is. I just adjudicate it, which is maybe why Gabe appreciates it so much, or anybody appreciates it so much. So I get that. Where was I going with this? I don't know. I would probably go with Delta Green's a tough one, maybe. So I was going to say, like, none of the games I know, none of the games I play, even consistently, do I know the rules very well. It's always a reference. It's always a judgment call. It's always a player at the table that knows them better. Maybe Delta Green. Maybe Savage Worlds. Something generic. So I know Harrigan mentioned it up above, like something as Fate, GURPS, Cortex, something like that. Maybe generic, where it's like, okay, I can use this to play kind of anything. Maybe it's GURPS. I don't know. Literally go grab a book. I got a whole stack right here. So I would say, maybe, and I violated my own rule. I gave you guys 2, but we changed the rules, right? We could have 2 now. We're playing Choose the Book Deserted Island game. And now I'm the player. Yay. And now I'm saying you can have more than one or box set. Savage Worlds might be fun. I go Savage. Final answer. I'll go Savage Worlds. And the funny thing is I don't even play it that often. Chris says, then pick again. You need Benny's cards and polyhedral dice to play on the island. Maybe, I guess. I mean, let's do this. We'll just say this. If you pick the book and there are core things you need, like cards, chips, Benny's could be rocks for all I care. But if there's something like you genuinely need to play the game, then I would assume that that's in your little, it comes with it for some reason. I stop dancing. I say sweet. Sean is going to say it depends. That's old Sean, Chris. I've moved beyond that. Kelly Ness just woke up. Oh, Kelly, you've missed it all. We haven't even gotten to anything, and it's like 40 minutes in. Napoleon says Delta Green is a great choice. I'd even let you borrow my Impossible Landscapes copy. Hey, we should. You want to play Delta Green on the deserted island, Napoleon? Want to join my game group? Chris says, damn it, blew up my spot as I said it. Kelly Ness, what? Dancing? That's what you do when you're not trying to answer a question. You start dancing around the question. Oh, yeah, it's like this. I don't know. Okay. The real question is, who are you going to play with on the island? Well, we'll see, right? That's the trick. Michael Holland, Savage Worlds is another versatile system you could play a lot of games with. Tim Jensen, good to see you, Tim. Dungeon World or Stone Top, which is looking great. Yeah. So Kelly, the hubbubaloo is you are going on a on a cruise, an RPG cruise, the convention at sea. And you could bring your entire role-playing game collection and maybe even some auxiliary books, right? Like, Play Dirty by John Wick, something RPG related, but maybe it's not a rule book. And then the cruise ship hits, crazy waters, a storm, capsizes, but you get out and you can only grab one book to take with you on the end destination of the deserted island. What book would it be? Chris says, I'd play Delta Green on an island with you. That's some serious atmosphere, for sure. Thought we were all on the island together after our con ship sunk. Says the player not paying attention. No, I don't know. We didn't get that far. We didn't know. You're not there yet. You're not sure. For right now, the encounter is ship sinking. You have to grab a book. And you said it, so hold on. We're waiting for everybody else. Once everybody else picks, then we'll get to the next thing in the adventure. And you don't end up at the deserted island after all. Hey! Todd says, quote, you grab a book at random and finally escape the sinking boat. Once on shore, you look down at the book you choose. It's that PBTA hack of survivors on a deserted island. What you thought was Delta Green or Suede or Cortex is fatal. Nick says, woo, question if you're playing with others or solo. I wonder what's best for solo play. I have not played the 1,000-Year Vampire, but I've talked about it on occasion. That may be the solo one to take. That had crossed my mind. Okay, so if I'm maybe a solo play, probably be 1,000-Year Vampire. But Sean, then you need a pencil and like a journal. And then if you could take a journal, then I would just write in the journal like the rules of all the games I know. You guys, game in the question. Ty says the problem is 90% of the storage on the boat would be filled with books. For sure. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to eat unless you wanted to eat a role-playing game book. They cleared out the galley for books. You're not there yet. Classic GM response. You're welcome. Roger says, I'm going to be pissed if there's a game store on the island. Yeah. Maybe next week it's, hey, you get to that deserted island and there's a game store. Which book, now that you don't have any, but the one, which one would you grab? And possibly I tell you what the inventory is. Tim says, I remember Wick's Play Dirty from over 15 years ago. Yeah. He redid it, I thought, since then. I thought John redid it because I think he admitted he was a little rough around the edges when he did the first edition, I think. Harrigan says, will there be factions on this island? I think there will be factions on this island. You think? So happy to see Dungeon World mentioned here at Chris and Tim. I call Immolator. Tim says, of course. Get on the Stone Top Discord server. All right, let's get into some things. Thanks for participating, everybody. It was very much a good time. I really liked that a lot. So, Sean, remember, when you pose the question, you're posing it to players. Remember, role-playing game players. Oh, yes. Okay, good. Write that down. Ben says, do LARPs have books? Get a survival LARP book with info for in-real-life survival. Ben, another smart one. Watch that guy. Ben, who is it? Ben and Harrigan. Those two, they're the ones that they'll figure out the kooky solution to stuff. All this was amazeballs. Ty played dirty. Yeah, 15th anniversary. Okay. Kelly says, I don't know. I'd go down with the ship because of indecision. Nah, you could pick it. It's maybe floating in the water. You got a little time. All these jokers took a long time. Don't worry about it. You got time, Kelly. No wrong answers. Just wrong people. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, what are we talking about this week? Let's get to, some of this I might try to whip through pretty quick. Picking stuff out, you know. I'll do it like my sister-in-law, you know. No, I don't know. What are you talking about? Summon Elder and receive answers from deep within the tomes of Call of Cthulhu. Unravel the mysteries of the cosmos with the all-knowing Call of Cthulhu chatbot. Elder by Quest Portal. Dive into deep conversations, receive expert guidance, and enhance your gameplay with this intelligent and immersive companion. Elder is trained on all the content from Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition, Investigator's Handbook, Keeper Rulebook, Malleus Monstrorum, Volume 1 and 2, and Graham Grimoire of Cthulhu Mythos Magic. Our friends at Quest Portal will continue to add the entire Call of Cthulhu collection of rules, lore, and scenarios. What do you think about that? AI, man. Everything's gonna it's all just gonna consume everybody. It's gonna be madness. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna do a video on it. I got a scenario I want to run through, provide. I think it's gonna be interesting. So there you go. I thought that would come up for Call of Cthulhu fans. Probably already know about this. It says, will Elder replace the need for human keepers? Come on, meatbags. We need to reunite. No. Elder is a helpful chatbot assistant designed to assist human keepers with questions about rules, lore, and simple creations. It's like think about it. It's probably just like a search engine, right? Except with a search engine, you got to kind of go through the results of it. I would not want to be, dude, is it possible Google is yesterday's news? This is crazy. Elder is not intended to replace or diminish human interaction and creativity in tabletop role-playing games. The goal of Elder is to support and enrich the game experience by spending less time searching for rules and lore. Elder helps players focus more on the memories and experiences they create at the table. I thought this was interesting. Thought it was, well, hey, the landscape of RPGs, man. We'll see. We shall see. Look up rules is dumb. Just ask the computer. Right. Computer. Tabletop RPG companies should work with AI companies to get these things as part of their game books. Buy the book, get the AI companion. I'd use a DG lore chatbot. Oh, for sure. Wouldn't it be nice? Like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. It's 1978. I'm telling you, I should just turn this channel into AI RPGs and anything that, because I'm sure there's some AI RPG related content, but going to like Harrigan, you're going to run a Delta Green game. How would you use AI to enrich it? I got material, folks. Hang in there. It's just a matter of executing. Murder Hobo Show. Good to see ya. Morning, afternoon, evening. Anyone watch the AI Guy channel where Joe Rogan, DMS, Trump, Jackson, Ramsey, and Musk? Yes. It's posted on our Discord. So if you're not familiar with what Murder Hobo Show is doing, the AI Guy YouTube channel is fantastic. It's Joe Rogan as the game master, Donald Trump playing, what is he playing? Some freaking guy. Trump, what is it? Some name of his character. I can't remember what it was. Samuel L. Jackson, Gordon Ramsay, and Elon Musk playing D&D. It's pretty fantastic. The mom jokes in episode 2 had me going, yes. Tim says AI models could replace a lot of game books. Yeah. Chris says, I think we should start thinking about AI as a way to supplement these IPs, game systems, and settings. Well, for sure. Ben says, what happened if you asked it, how do I get to Waterdeep from Neverwinter? Right. Tronald. That's the one. Thank you. Tronald. And the funny thing is it's like, it's so crazy because it's like, it's like genuine. If you didn't know these 4 or 5 guys playing role-playing games, it's funny tropes. They yell at each other. It's crazy. Anyways, go and check it out. It's so bad. It's so good. Yeah. Ask the COC boy that question. I mean, right. Chris, now we can just skip over the PDF versus ebook conversation and go, here's your book and your AI companion. Oh, ask the COC bot that question, Ben says. Yeah. Ask the COC boy. Hey, boy, what? Tell me about this. You're the COC boy. All right, so there you go. I don't want to hash that. That's a could be on AI all day. Let's see. Dungeons and Dragons. Drew Crevelo. I don't know Drew. I don't know a lot of showrunners by name. Set as showrunner of Paramount Plus live action series. It's been tapped as an executive producer and showrunner of D&D, Paramount Plus's live action series based on Hasbro's wildly popular fantasy role-playing game franchise. Ravello will work closely with series creator Ross and Marshall Thurber, who wrote the pilot script and is set to direct the first episode. The project, which has an 8-episode straight-to-series order, is a co-production between E1 and Paramount Pictures, with E1 as the lead studio, which is funny because a little bit later, well, I could probably tell you now, Hasbro's trying to unload E1. They're trying to actually sell it back to the person who owned E1 before, like the founder. And he's talking to, I want to say he's like talking to European financiers to try to buy it back. But I don't remember the cost. I don't know if it was bought for $10 million. But anyways. So Dungeons & Dragons has been tipped to be E1's largest scope TV project ever, potentially launching a television universe spanning multiple scripted and unscripted shows. Dude, it's Law and Order, man. D&D, Forgotten Realms. Dun dun. D&D, Waterdeep. Dun dun. Right? All right. Harrigan says there will be an adversarial GM switch, Ben. It'll say, you're there, roll for initiative, or a bunch of things in between. Murder Hobo Show, how would the AI book work? Wow. Just ask ChatGPT, it'll tell you, Murder Hobo. Chris says ways. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, that's a good question. Murder Hobo shows, am I asking questions every second? Chris says, no, you can just ask it questions about things you can't remember offhand. But how do you get to the original content to forget? Michael says it was bought for $4 billion. Oh, okay. $4 billion. Yeah, okay. That's not 10 million. Sean's research is no good. Your research is no good here. Chris says, because I'm just hooking my AI companion to a voice recognition software with some text-to-speech software and asking it questions as I'm gaming. Here's the thing, though. The Star Trek computer it can't be that far away now. The thing is it's all discombobulated, right? We've got a text-to-voice component. We've got deep fake. We've got voice simulators, right? You can record a sample of your voice, load it, and train AI to have your pitch and tone of your voice. That's how that guy's doing the D&D show, right? Yeah, the AI guy, the YouTube channel. Just wait until all that modal, Harrigan told me it was, right? It's very modal, I believe, right? That's the term. Wait until all that stuff is one. It's not that far off. It's not going to be hard to adapt that. And so instead of like, well, we got this stupid text thing. Can we just change it to voice? Sure. Why not? Boom. $3.8 billion. Michael corrects himself. Yeah, that's close to 4. Rounding error. Soon AI will be able to CGI with hardly any human effort. Multimodal. Thank you, Harrigan. Multimodal. Yeah. It's anyways, going on to this. Crivello, former 20th Century Fox and Warner Brothers executive who developed films such as Deadpool and X-Men First Class, co-created and executive produced and co-show ran the We Work Apple TV Plus limited series, We Crashed, starring Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. He is repped by UTA, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. Yeah. There you go. That's how they get you, my dad would say. Next one up. Sigil Services. Kind of one of those that you probably haven't heard of. Provides the industry's highest quality and most complete virtual tabletop conversion services for tabletop RPG publishers and gaming studios. Pinnacle Entertainment Group creates the award-winning Savage Worlds, and then Ulysses Spiel is the studio behind the Dark Eye, Torg Eternity, and Fading Suns. So Ulysses Spiel acquires Sigil Services. Leading VTT studio continues brisk growth, expands services, right? So this is Germany and Arizona. So, and Shane Hensley from Pinnacle is involved. I think he sits on Sigil's board. So Sigil, if you were not aware, a lot of these like free, my understanding, I didn't know this when this first came out, this press release, but I found it somewhere else. I think it's probably accurate that they do a lot of these third-party tabletop ports. So Free League uses them. So imagine Free League's like, hey, we're coming out with Walking Dead. We need a Foundry module for that. Sigil goes, sure, no problem. Sigil's the one that does it. See you, Todd. Thanks for showing up, buddy. So, so Ulysses Spiele is proud to announce the acquisition of Sigil Services, a company founded to enhance VTT conversion and development for the games industry. Sigil was founded by Aaron Acevedo in 2005 and expanded to VTT in 2019 and became a partner with Shane Hensley's Pinnacle Entertainment Group in 2022. So that news, I think I even talked about that piece, like Shane and Sigil, and now it's gone one more acquisition. So since its inception, President Dr. President Dr. Amy Bliss Marshall and her team of coders, artists, and platform specialists have worked with top-tier game companies such as Paizo, Free League, obviously Ulysses Spiele, Pinnacle Entertainment Group, Onyx Path, and more to set the standard for VTT development, art, conversion, and integration with various platforms such as Foundry VTT and Roll20. Interesting, right? Interesting. Did we see this? Like, what are we thinking, right? How is this a reaction from the D&D's VTT, right? Like some of these role-playing game companies are like, all right, let's get our stuff together and start making things happen. So it's good that Sigil's around to help out with some of those organizations, and if they're responsible for some of the things that they've done in Foundry, specifically for the stuff for Free League, thank you. Like it's top. I think it's top notch. So there you go. some fluffy fluff in here. Doesn't probably say any money. No. And of course, it's like, yeah, we've been envisioning this. It's a great combination. Blah 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 blah. I'm looking forward to it. Creating great work. It's excellent. I'm taking the next level business to the next level. Da, 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 da. Under the new owner, Sigil Services plans to expand the range of services with an added focus on broader VTT content creation. I think Sigil's out of Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So hey, Canada. Amy adds, we are extending our available service to smaller publishers and successful crowdfunding projects looking for an economical foothold on the increasing importance of VTT landscape. Yeah, right? Like, if you do a Kickstarter, do you make, a stretch goal for the Foundry module, Roll20? Who's going to do it? Sigil. There you go. Okay. Orcus Dorcas, latecomer. Look at this guy. I can just see him. Yeah, morning, everybody. Got a little late. What's Sean talking about? RPG, something, blah, blah. RPG, blah, blah. Yeah, Tim, I know. I see what you're talking about, Tim. So there's that. How important is it to you, VTT? Todd Crapper, right? He's not even here. He had to leave. He would have been interesting to ping. Like, okay, Todd is a creator. Chris, Encoded Designs. Is that something you guys want to pursue? Like, is that the deal? Is it part of the portfolio, if you will? Wow, that was a really bad burp. It's really professional of me. All right, let me see. What is the deal? I missed something. How important is publishers to have VTT? Ty says, sounds like me, Sean, waking up because your show is so early for me. I should be asleep. Yeah, you're hardcore though, buddy. Monster Gaming impresses Kickstarter with a Deluxe RPG stat tracker case and accessory. Designed for D&D Pathfinder, Monster Gaming stat tracker uses rollers and set into a case to track hit points, armor, and the like while offering a dice tray and protected character sheet area. This is one of those interesting accessories I thought was looking at. There's still about a month on the clock. Now nearly 200 backers as Kickstarter's gaming community likes what they see. You can look at the pitch page. So if you can't see it and make it out of this picture, just think of those combination locks on briefcases, right? Where you like remove the numbers. That's what a lot of these things are. I thought it was kind of neat. A few tiers offer duplicate rewards, so let's cherry pick and start at $89, about 72 pounds sterling for the first and generous one, which gets you the case, 25 character sheets. I'm not sure if that's a big deal. And the Monster branded notepad. Shipping is limited and not cheap given the size of the item. Full Metal Dragon. Morning. All right. I don't know. I think that could be it's kind of neat. It's kind of interesting where it's like, yep, still analog here, but I mean, what I guess it's all personal preference, right? If you pick this, so you're playing 5th edition, picking this, D&D Beyond, one with the, like how many different like character things would be at the table? Would like, Get a party of 5 people and have each one something different. One on an iPad using D&D Beyond, one using this kind of tracker, another one using just straight character sheet, another one using, I don't know, some other app probably. God, how many ways? That is beyond analog. Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. Some of us would say, if you got to play a game that requires one of those, it's not my day. It's not my thing. Totally get it. That's okay. And hey, that's okay. This may come up in Kickstarter news. I don't think so, but I thought this was kind of interesting. You guys seen this Neuro City Colorblind Edition? I thought it was, I'm not, it's funded. And I thought, okay, you know, what's this about? And then I started scrolling and looked at some of the pictures. I'm like, pretty interesting art, form factor. Neuro City, inspired by sci-fi works like Alphaville, 1984, Brave New World, TH 1132, and Dark City. Neuro City is a subterranean city complex crowned by a glitched digital sun ruled by an ever-watching supercomputer named Isaac. ISAC. I mean, look at that. So this is a new version. So Neuro City's been out before. Neuro City was his first book 3 years ago. It helped kickstart my career, and it was my first attempt at creating an RPG. It is work I feel particularly attached to in those days. I did not have an editor and lacked much of the experience of trial and error I have today. So they're expanding it. So here's kind of another snapshot. A tech noir dystopian thriller where right and wrong are seldom clear. I don't know what the original looks like. So if this is the colorblind version, the original might be like cyborg type stuff. They said 1138, didn't they? Oh, 1132. Yeah, 1138. Look at that. Follow the caption. Follow the rules or risk being erased by the system. There's a kind of a spread. The book will make use of distressed textures of 80-pound uncoated paper that will enhance its 80s noir aesthetics. Neuro City is Warpland's retro-futuristic twin brother. It is one side of the same coin. We do not know if Warpland is a simulation created by Isaac or if it is what lies beyond the limits of the city. The truth is yours to find out. I have not kicked in on this. I think it's neat. I would probably never play. It's an 8.5 by 8.5 square. It's going to mess up my shelf, man. It's going to look all wonky. 145 pages long. It does look like a pretty cool book, though. 1132, 1138, whatever it takes. Tad, bonus points for Mr. Mom reference. Anyways, I put there in there. Okay. Thought it was kind of cool. It was pretty cool. Yep. This one that I just closed because my browser's too slow, so I didn't know if it clicked, and then it moved something. Loading. The Lair of the Leopard Empress marks the return of Mindjammer Press. You guys know about this? It's Swords and Sorcery from Newton. So this pulpy game will use Monsters. It's an RPG engine developed by Ken Andre and Trohala Press. So if you don't know who Ken Andre is, he is very much deep into the Tunnels and Trolls game. With Rick Loomis, who had passed away, I believe. Yes. So there's kind of this weird dynamic they talk about where it's not weird, but it's like unique, where it's like I should say, where it's like, one more time. As it happens at Tabletop Icon, there was some things like Sarah Newton had going through some financial crises because of the departure of Chris James, and Rick Loomis needed help financially to battle his cancer. Anyways, this book, The Lair of the Leopard Empresses, dates back before 2019. So as Sarah has been working on the project since 2015, and there's not long to wait now, as the RPG is expected out next month. Should probably just link to the... No, that's drive-through. Mindjammer. Thanks, Geek Native. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Harrigan. Gabe says, a couple good vectors there for me. Yeah, I don't know Monsters very well. But obviously it's talking about pulp, superheroic fantasy role-playing game. There you go. You have to check that out. Tunnels and Trolls, Swords and Sorceries. What did they say? Can we have like one more role-playing game that has 2 first letters and an ampersand between them? So there's a bundle here. So the Keith Fry Memorial Bundle, published by Independence Games and others, $150 of stuff for $30. Keith Fry was part of the industry, Independence Games. I think he was very integral into the Traveler RPG community. That's where and responsible for Traveler Con. So if you're a big Traveler person, Traveler Con, then you may have known Keith, or now you know that he was a big part of making that happen. So Keith passed away. So there's a bundle here if you want to go and check it out. Publishers involved include Mongoose, Moontoad Publishing, Cyborg Prime Publishing, Michael Brown, First Age Entertainment, Stellagama Gate Publishing, Earl of Fife Games, Wild Bee Publishing, and Zozer Publishing. So there you go. Let's see. What version of Traveler? Much of it is probably Mongoose, I'm guessing, Ty. I don't know if there's original ones in there. They didn't mention GW involved, right? That's Mark, right? Let's see. So if you feel you could contribute and maybe want some Traveler stuff. Let's see. Here we go. Airship Dauntless bundle. You guys know this game? I did not know this game. Adventurer. This is all new Airship Dauntless. Quick Deal presents Airship Dauntless, the Decopunk tabletop, role-playing game from Deep 7 Press of 1920s pulp adventure of a la Indiana Jones, The Rocketeer, Sky Captain, and The Mummy. In an alternate modern age that never was, operatives of Aegis need hard-boiled courage against overwhelming odds as they fight to free the world from the secret cult of the Silver Star. Chart a course for two-fisted excitement as a pilot, explorer, soldier, scientist, pirate. Pilot? Did I say pilot? Pirate. Pilot, pirate, entertainer, occultist, masked avenger, and more. So if you want some high-flying action pulp stuff, this might be something to look into. For $10, you get all 6 titles. It's like $42 value for all you PDF lovers. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, my question to me would be, if I picked a pulp game or system, what would be a good one? I don't know. Yeah, I thought some of you might find it interesting. So check that out. And let's see, what else? Still going. So, if you remember a little while ago, I talked about McNeil Publishing and picking up Into the Motherlands, and then it never happened or flaked or got caught up in quagmire. Well, apparently Green Ronin is going to do it. So Green Ronin to publish Saphirco's Into the Motherlands role-playing game. So Green Ronin announced today, April 21st, 2023, that it was signed an agreement to publish Saphirco's. That reads better when it's like that. Saphirco's Into the Motherlands role-playing game. Into the Motherlands began as a critically acclaimed streaming show in 2020, followed by a $360,000 Kickstarter to bring its Afrofuturist vision to the tabletop as a complete standalone role-playing game. So Green Ronin has picked it up. Do they say McNeil in here? McNeil Publishing? I don't think so. Thought they did. Well, they won't in the press, right? This article should. No, it's a press release, so it doesn't mention it. But basically, McNeil Andrews Publishing, known for Zweihander, was going to publish this, and then they decided not to for some reason. So, and now Green Ronin is going to. So if this game interests you, be on the lookout. Change your direction and go, oh, I should probably tune into Green Ronin for that moving forward. I met B. Dave Walters. Picked him up at the airport. Not a big talker. Tall guy, though. All right. Tim Jensen mentioned Critical Role publisher announces new tabletop and hiatus on Critical Role Adventures. An update on Guardians of Matrimonia and Syndicult. I don't know if this sums it up very well. Anyways, some of these sites are just terrible. Can you just stop? Just stop. Darrington Press, which is the publisher side of Critical Role, announced 3 new tabletop titles. So why do we care? Well, if you're a fan of Critical Role, Darrington Press, and even if you're not, they are, one of the top, the top or at least top 5 streamers on Twitch, Critical Role, period. At least they were in the past. So they had an event online, and Mercer, actor and dungeon master, and Micah Burton took place yesterday of this recording, April 20th, 2023. The upcoming board game announced it's called Queen of Midnight, designed by Critical Role producer Kyle Shire. It's a deck-building board game that sees players becoming a group of princesses battling for the title of Queen of Midnight. By using their individual decks of cards, players will need to unleash attacks on their fellow princesses whilst protecting themselves, all in the hope of being the last one standing. Another game announced during the State of Press event was Illuminated Worlds. There it is, a tabletop role-playing game system that uses a D6 dice pool. Co-created by Stras Asimovich, I think I might have nailed it, who has previously worked on content for Blades in the Dark, and Layla Alderman. Illuminated Worlds is designed for shorter arc-driven campaigns and will be flexible enough to be used for any type of setting players want. The last brand new title announced was Daggerheart, an upcoming TRPG that will provide players with a fresh update to the fantasy genre within tabletop RPG space. Daggerheart is intended to be used for longer campaigns and will feature richer options for players to create characters with. Darrington Press was founded by Ivan Van Norman, an actor and co-owner of Alice is Missing publisher Hunters Entertainment. Previous titles published by Darrington Press include Uk-Otoa, board game set within the world of Critical Role and focused on the Leviathan that clashes with the Warlock Fjord. And others upcoming games, including a 2-player title called Till the Last Grasp. And then they talk about Critical Role a little bit, who they are, some of the success, The Legend of Vox Machina. Who am I? Besides the newly announced titles, Darrington Press, Data Press also confirmed the Guardians of Matrimonia co-op board game. Queen of Midnight, August 3rd. Talking about Gen Con. Queen of Midnight will be available to both play and purchase at Gen Con from August 3rd to the 6th, with both Illuminated Worlds and Daggerheart being featured as playable demos. A TRPG. Oh, the author is one of those people. Tim Jensen. Daggerheart could become bigger than D&D. Look, I said this the week before last. The D&D, there's no question about the market share that they have. But to Tim's point, Critical Role has a massive audience, and they built it on the, and here's the thing, they started in Pathfinder and then they pivoted to D&D and 5th edition. And when they pivoted, I don't even know if when they were streaming, like, I don't know if, maybe you guys can help me out. My understanding, and I could be totally wrong, is that there are a bunch of voice actors, obviously, and they were running Pathfinder, probably in the days of 3.5, when it was really huge, or Pathfinder when it was out, and 4th edition when it wasn't doing well. And did they put them up on YouTube? Because I don't think streaming was all that great at all, actually, back then. And then they must have moved to Twitch and somewhere made the pivot. I don't even know if they streamed on Twitch Pathfinder. They might have been like, when we started on Twitch, they were doing 5e. But look at the audience that they've amassed and the exposure and the generation that they're probably very rooted in. Could they be a contender for something that comes out of the blue? Because 1D&D is kind of, in flux. Where's 5th edition fall in? Like, it's very interesting, people. And to even mention to Ty Prunty, right? Ty says, Critical Role, I have not heard of them before. Who are they? I live in a cave frozen in ice for the last 10 years, right? And I know he's being facetious. But, Ty, I know you're not a big fan of D&D, but, I mean, these are things why I bring this up is because these are things where, yeah, your precious ICRPG or Cortex Prime, there's a potential that something like that comes along and knocks some of the big juggernauts off the pedestal. It's a weird world. I don't know. We'll see. Murder Hobo Show, what's your system of your choice, Orcus? Orcus says, TRPG? Oh, the author is one of those people. Ah, there we go. Michael Holland, CR fans will get behind Daggerheart, so it will be big, but never bigger than D&D. Well, okay. All right. Orcus says, my system choice, flat out? Oh, man, that's a seasonal thing, to be honest. Currently, it's BRP and DCC. Michael Holland says, CR never streamed the Pathfinder portion of their campaign. They decided to they switched to 5e for the stream. Okay, thank you very much for the clarification. Chris says, I walked away. We're talking Daggerheart. Cool. Michael Holland, wait. I might be wrong. Oh, researchers. Ty says, what Critical Role should play D&D using Cortex Prime? What? Ty, that doesn't even make sense. Michael Holland, I was wrong. They did stream Pathfinder until they joined Geek and Sundry. That's right, when they switched to 5e. Yeah, and they switched to Geek and Sundry. I don't even know where Geek and Sundry is anymore. It's like, are they a thing anymore? Did they got bought? What's her name's gone? Like, I don't even know. Like, CR has, like, we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna become part of Geek and Sundry. Now we're our own thing. Now we're doing our role playing game. Like, they're doing their animated series, dude. Man, say what you will about CR, they're doing some crazy shit that is like propelling them upward and onward. I'm not a big CR fan myself, admittedly. I just, but to not recognize their achievements, accomplishments, and what they're doing, kudos, like, for sure. How big is the D&D audience compared to CR? Well, I don't know. That's probably a big gap. But I mean, look at what Wizards is doing. It's I think, very risky. And, it does. I don't know if the CR, here's the thing that's like, I'm kind of going through my brain right now. That's why I'm like stuttering and not really being cohesive here. But think about it. Beats, the headset company, Dr. Dre, right? One of the things he mentioned in building that brand was that a lot of athletes and famous celebrities would wear Beats. I don't know if he gave them to him for free. And this was like, you can watch this in the documentary. There's a documentary about him and his partner, like, anyways. And then Apple bought him, right, for billions of dollars. And some would even like question like how real awesome they are. Joe Swick's a headset guy. He would know. But where am I going with this? Beats. Shoot. Lost my train of thought. Oh. Booger. It's my you guys will probably get me back on track. It's like this yeah, I lost my train of thought. Damn, look at that. You guys just saw somebody become totally stupid on a stream. Oh, that's what it was. Now we're going. Okay, celebrity, right? Give them the celebrities to do, right? Like, oh, my favorite NBA player, Beats. What's that? Oh, purple ones. Ooh, that's cool. What are they doing? Oh, that's awesome. I want a pair of those. Apparently, that's how that brand took off, is giving it to the people that have a lot of exposure. That's why influencers are kind of like these hype machines for some of these corporations. Instead of like conventional, traditional, put an ad on the TV, it's just noise to us nowadays. But now if I tune into like Matt Mercer because he's got, 1 million followers and he's super awesome and he's a good person. Oh, wait a minute. They've made a role-playing game too? Huh. I'm going to check this out. What intrigues me is it's D6 based. It's like they're not towing the D20 line on this thing. And obviously they've been playing D20 forever. Now, they have played streaming and games. They ran Mothership opinions because they didn't really attribute a lot of hype to Tuesday night games, unfortunately. And Sean was humble enough to not care, but it would have been nice if they would have been like, hey, if you want Mothership, go and check it out at Tuesday night games. Anyways, but they've played other games is my point. But the claim to fame with Critical Role is like, I mean, they got to give some credit to Pathfinder and them playing that game and then to 5th edition. Don't a lot of CR viewers not play? I had heard that. Chris says, but they buy the stuff that CR makes. Yeah, that's a good point too. Do they need to play? I mean, if you think about Critical Role and what they're doing compared to like Wizards, I mean, Wizards has got the movie, right? But their previous movies sucked. They're starting to get into TV shows. One could say that Critical Role is already there. They've got a weekly show. It's just on Twitch. They have Amazon. They have the Legend of Vox Machina on. I mean, a huge multi-million-dollar Kickstarter. They've got that out on Amazon Prime. Now they've got a couple games, a lot of merch. I think they have a book with art, right? Like fan art in it that they've produced and put out there. I think they have a foundation. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they do some charity work too. Man. Tad says, I know a bunch of people who started playing D&D because it's what CR played. If they had been playing something else, those viewers would have started playing that game instead. Duh. Right. Even if they don't play, if that book has anything to do with Exandria, they'll buy it. Ty says, I will miss Will Wheaton's tabletop on Geek and Sundry. Yeah, it was good. I knew one of the producers, Ty. Personally, yep. Bojan Radovich. Nice guy. 20 million plus what? 20 million plus for D&D and 2-ish million for CR. But remember that Amazon show is insanely popular to the point where it got a 3rd season. And their 2nd campaign is getting a 1st season. Herman, good to see you. I bought a new Taldore book, and it is better written than most official D&D books, too, in my opinion. Look at this. Orcus Dorcas, that's kind of like the Avatar phenomenon. I know many Avatar stan who bought the RPG just to add it to their collection, had no intention of playing. It was just another collectible. Right, but it doesn't matter, right? They bought it. That's money. Tim says WotC is going all in on their pay-to-play online platform. Daggerheart's an alternative to that with a pre-existing market. Stands. Okay, thanks, buddy. Stands. Chris, when I say 2 million, I'm just talking about the metric I could see, which is their stream and YouTube channel. Remember, we have zero idea what their TV shows are bringing to the brand awareness. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's crazy. Daggerheart is rumored to use D20s. Oh, it is. Interesting. 2 different games. Got it. Or because I want to get Avatar to the table. Ty says, Murder Hobo, I would imagine they won't steer far from D&D rules in their new system. Tim says, a lot of gamers don't play or underplay for what they spend. Well, that's for sure. I mean, case in point, how many books do we have we've never played? Murder Hobo, I have a Matt Mercer pillowcase. Shut your face off. Picks or it didn't happen. Orcus says, I don't appreciate Tim calling me out. I know, right? I feel attacked. Michael Holland, I'm backpedaling. If we're comparing Daggerheart to Hasbro's digital D&D 6e, I think Daggerheart could compete with and beat out that product easily. Whoa. I don't know. Back. Look at it. It's a flipper flopper. Michael is a flip flopper. My flippy floppies. I got my flippy floppies. All right. Well, ooh, man. Oh, I don't know about this. Oh. That's still going on. I get excited about this stuff because it's not just the market could be so fragile, especially in the RPG space. You know, D&D, they put out an OGL that just like threw everything into, I mean, it made business news. I remember at one point I thought Sergey Brin might have mentioned at Google, they were like one bad PR thing from crashing in their early days. Like it just and they're probably far from that now, but we're in interesting waters. I don't care what anybody says, man. Like D&D or not, it just is. The hobby. Gloomhaven. The role-playing game's launch plans include more than 600 miniatures. The same card-based combat will drive the open-world tabletop RPG. I've never played Gloomhaven. It has intrigued me, but it's a board game. I don't get out to board game very much, and I'm not very good at board games. But Gloomhaven has always intrigued me. Are you guys interested in Gloomhaven, the RPG? I don't know how successful a lot of these ports are. It seems like anything that's like, somebody farts in the wind, they can make an RPG about it. I don't know. That's my next RPG, by the way. Farting in the wind. Orcus Dorcas, nothing's going to beat Sean's Everyone is Matt Colville whenever he gets it off his butt and makes it. Yeah. Vaporware. That's what it is. I'll be putting out like print news releases. How it's like gotten funding, where it is in progress, a different like development houses involved. That place has been canned because they didn't like the direction we were going. Like it'll be just this long. It will be. What is the what's his name? Duke Nukem. It'll be Everyone is Matt Colville. The RPG will be the Duke Nukem video game. Just on and on and on. Money, money, money everywhere. Never. It just vaporizes. Herman says, looking forward to the Gloomhaven game. Love the board game. Tim says, if D&D 5e is going away or requires all new books, then why not play Daggerheart instead? Well, we know one fan of Daggerheart. Chris says, but I'm always disappointed in the RPG version. Harrigan, farting in the wind. I think this is our Impossible Landscapes game, Sean. Dude, it's inspired by. That's what I'll put. Farting in the wind, inspired by games like an actual play of Impossible Landscapes with Harrigan, Lou, and Edwin. Orcus Dorcas, the Talisman RPG kind of floundered. Not that excited about the Gloomhaven. Seems redundant. No. I should mention probably, right? June 20th, they're talking. Hitting Backer Kit's new crowdfunding platform. So it's going to be on Backer Kit, not on, that other one that's really popular that we all know about. 600 miniatures. Heyo. Reaper Bones, anybody? It's a lot. 16 classes. Nearly 20-pound campaign in a box was the original. It was 2015. Do you guys know that? Gloomhaven came out in 2015. The crowdfunding campaign was. I may have to check out the digital version. Maybe that's my route. Is that good? Frosthaven raised $13 million in 2020. Should soon be available at retail. This isn't just Gloomhaven, says the narrator of the video trailer. This is a newly developed system that integrates the card management stamina system into the role-playing experience, so your cards help guide what you do both in and out of combat. It's a lot of miniatures, man. That is a lot of miniatures. Tim says, I'm more interested in Illuminated Worlds myself, but I'll certainly try Daggerheart. Redundant, eh? The redundancy in the fantasy RPG market is pretty epic. Yeah. That's a little. Herman says, although I don't think it will replace ICRPG or Cortex Prime for me. Yeah. Orcus Dorcas also not sure how the Zombicide RPG did, but don't know anyone who played it. IP translations to RPGs, meh. Just don't get the charm. Yeah. Well. Arby's. You guys go to Arby's yet? Get your dice. They're gone. They're out. But they're not bad looking dice. Kind of maybe wonky to look at. Sean's dice must be legible. These are, what do they got? Like a hamburger in there? What is that? Is that part of a dead ham? Is that part of a burger in the side in the middle there? What is it supposed to be? What are they doing? Is that an attempt to make it like easier to read? Like is that their attempt at contrast? Anyways, they're sold out. $12? I thought you got them like you got to die for free. No, $12 for a set of Arby's dice. How much is a set of dice? You know, like every die is branded. No, yeah, D20 is. No, maybe just the D20. So it's just normal dice with the D20 logoed for $12. I prefer my dice without botulism. Well, some of us like it with botulism, so suck it, Orcus Dorcas. Huh. There you go. Is there a lump of mystery meat in there? A hat? Oh, I'm so going to get in trouble by Arby's. I think there's another batch coming. I know they did this before. Is it a little cowboy hat? Inside the die? No, that's not a cowboy hat. That? No. I mean, there's the logo, but I'm talking about that black thing. What is that? You know, that would make a good Tales from the Loop scenario. Like the black thing in the dice of Arby's is like some weird, like the black goo from the X-Files. Dude. Good night, everybody. I'm out. It's my one idea. I got to go and make that happen. Yeah. It's the goo from X-Files. Takes over a town and only the kids know about it. Huh? Hey, yeah, it just came to me. I'm just like that, right? Set of dice full of ideas. Like John, or what's his name? Haverford from Parks and Rec. Here is the Hollywood Reporter reporting on Hasbro selling Tom Haverford. Talks to Sell Entertainment One to founder Darren Throop. Yeah, they're like they keep alluding to Wizards or Hasbro, you know, becoming a gaming powerhouse. So they're selling their entertainment division. I did not know this. So Hasbro acquired the film and TV production and distribution unit. The original person sold to the toy giant in 2019. So it hasn't been that long. They haven't owned it that long. JP Morgan Centerview Partners led a formal auction for E1, which has a film and TV library with around 6,500 titles and a branded film and scripted TV business that produces and finances content like D&D, Honor Among Thieves, The Woman King, Yellow Jackets, and the Rookie franchise, the ABC Rookie franchise with Captain Hot Pants. So it has emerged. Throop, the original person, founder, has been talking to CVC Capital Partners, a Luxembourg-based private equity firm with other immediate interests, about bringing financing to the table to reacquire certain assets of E1. And that started in mid-November 2022. Or I'm sorry, in mid-November 2022, Hasbro first announced it was exploring a possible sale of E1, which we knew. Like they mentioned, like, yeah, we're thinking about selling it. And that was kind of it. So Toronto-based E1, by the way, indie studio 4 years ago as part of a $4 billion all-cash transaction. $4 billion. It says, I would imagine it's U.S. and not Canadian. Just saying. So it was like a lot of money. Where is Phil when I need him? Yeah, there you go. Hasbro shedding parts of E1 should a deal be completed, aims to allow the company to focus on branded assets like Peppa Pig, Transformers, and Dungeons & Dragons as it looks to become a digital games giant under new CEO Chris Cox. The idea to become a Hollywood producer a la Marvel Studios was spearheaded by former CEO Brian Goldner. He passed away, so he was the CEO of Hasbro before Mr. Cox, who died in October of 2021. And then the pandemic disrupted that media strategy. Yikes. Yeah, it was kind of bad timing on that. With a Hollywood production shutdown and delays in content deliveries as the industry reopened. And it even mentions Alta Fox. So yeah, it's a move applauded by Wall Street investors. There you go. Some business news. Because, let's legitimize this hobby of ours, shall we? Come on, let's get this. Let's talk real business. Dragonbane core sets out on drive-thru. You guys need a link? Nothing ever went bad after big business got involved. Tony Baker. Tony Sugarloaf. Good to see you, man. That guy. Tony Sugarloaf. OG. Dragonbane. $25 for the PDFs. Core set on there. I mean, it's Free League, so I'm kind of contractually obligated to point that out per my shill agreement. This is interesting, I thought. Find your next D&D setting with this fan-made search engine. Yeah. Very distinguished. An online database allows you to search through nearly 300 third-party D&D settings so you can find the perfect place to start your next D&D 5e campaign. And frankly, you could start any of your campaigns there. Why does it got to be 5e? Why got to be 5e, man? So a D&D fan from San Francisco has created a search engine that can help you pick your next campaign setting. The creator, who goes by Laledo, uses a website of the same name to recommend third-party D&D books with a variety of themes. As of writing, the website recommends 296 D&D settings, each labeled with categories and keywords to help you refine your search. There's a wide range of fantasy, sci-fi, urban, and apocalyptic settings to choose from. Plenty of the supplements also tread less beaten paths. Want to hunt cryptids, become an animal, or play a role in the Christian Bible? Lalato can recommend D&D books for each of these. The website also signposts plenty of 5e books that adapt existing IPs. Steamforged's Dark Souls, the role-playing game, Cubicle 7's Doctors and Daleks can be found on the database, as can Free League's Publishing's upcoming Lord of the Rings RPG. Somebody was bored, and we get to reap the reward. Dragonbane delivered a DTRPG in bizarre fashion from the Kickstarter. Really? Bizarre? That's unfortunate. Usually it's just, hey, come and get the printed stuff. You all think this RPG stuff is evil and problematic? Just go look at video games for 5 seconds and you'll realize how clean RPGs are. Dorcas, 300 tavern options? Tim, greed, poisonous fun. Microtransactions are a hard no for me. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see what else. That's it for those. We can go into the typical stuff that I usually cover from N-World. Thanks, N-World. Print news. We'll go through this and then we'll call it a day. Quite the mix of RPGs in support this week. Mongoose Traveler. Sector Construction. Any Mongoose Traveler fans? Again, Traveler's lost on me. I don't. Still going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. It's a box set, too. Jumpstarts creativity to develop sectors of the referee's own making with a focus on the Foreven sector. An area adjacent to the Spinward Marches. Hey, man, I know where that is. Next one. Adventures in Academia, First Class, Cunning and Divine. Adventures in Academia, First Class, Arcane and Might by Steamforged Games, 5th edition. It's got miniatures, unpainted ones. Each has 6. $30 each box. Dragonborn, Paladin, Catfolk, Rogue. Let me rephrase that. Dragonborn, Paladin, Catfolk, Rogue. Furbolg Bard? Furbolg? That's got to be a typo. Half-elf and awakened Squirrel Rangers, Tiefling Cleric, and a half-orc druid. Free PDF character sheets. Next, Prison Break by Wagon Ambush by WizKids. $30. Prison Break. It's an encounter for most RPG systems with everything needed to run it included. Scenario booklet, pre-painted in 2D acrylic miniatures, including a sheriff and guard dog, warlock, tile map, dressings like doors and walls, and map tiles. Okay, all right. Whoop, I'm not even showing you guys this. I'm sorry. Probably should show you, right? What kind of streamer are you, Sean? Like, really? Here's the Traveler one. I put the link in the chat. Sorry, guys. There, I apologize. Is that not enough? Here's the D&D 5th edition from Steamforged Games, the miniatures. And then the next one, Prison Break by Wagon Ambush. And then the next one, Book of Magic Spell Codex, Volume 1. Book of Magic Spell Codex, Volume 2 by John Brazier. Pathfinder 1st edition softcover spell supplements, $25 each. Son of Lady 87 by Bedrock Games. Wandering Heroes of Ogre Gate. That's the system. Wandering Heroes of Ogre Gate. That is not the name of the game. Sons of Lady 87 is the name of the game. $50. PCs explore the criminal life of the Southern Empire, a place of thieves, bandits, killers, and prostitutes. They can join the 87 killers and serve Lady 87 as she secures her power against encroaching forces that push feuding criminal sects towards war. Yeah, there you go. Kind of cool. Shadowrun Whispernets, $50, hardcover supplement. Book of Adventures for PC runners. Seven Sinners, Mana Project, 5th edition, $20, hardcover book. Collection of cultists, demons, and relics that aims to convey a universal feeling understandable by any culture or individual, the fear of being found guilty. From Shadows by Weird Games, Through the Breach system, softcover supplement, pulls back the curtain on the 10 Thunders Syndicate and their expensive criminal empire, provides Fated the ability to play as a descended, someone whose past influences their present. PCs can also harness the power of ceremonial spells to cast old magia in new ways. Okay, cool. Knights of the Round Table. Knights of the Round Academy. Come on, guys. Knights of the Round Academy and dice set. System is unique. It's a heavily narrative role-playing game inspired by shonen anime. 90s super and real robot anime. Robot anime triggers people. Hello, robot anime. Japanese school comedies. Didn't say mecha though. PCs are called students and are defined by their traits, words, or short sentences that describe something they can do, what they have studied, or something they simply have talent for. Each student has to juggle ruthless rivals, grueling training, teenage love affairs, and monsters from the past of a planet split by war. Hunter, token pack, and that is it. 15 tokens for $20. Man, I wonder what it costs to make that thing. All right, what else? Woo, hold on. My cat just... hold on 1 second. Can't have a show without Augie doing something to mess it all up. All right. Crowdfunding news. The Fate of Shentufi. Adventure in Luke Gygax's Okram from Gax Works. Gax Works. Gax. 5th edition adventure for $25. Funded, huge butt ton of money. Comparatively speaking, $1,500 goal, $28,000. Yay! 1 week to go. Bridgetown, liminal pastoral troika. It's a pastoral liminal RPG setting from Technical Grimoire for Troika. Source book. Never-ending, ever-crumbling bridge that connects all Troika spheres together. Without the ever-crumbling part, it wouldn't have felt like Troika. Seriously, that's just the tip of how Troika this project is. There's no Troikin much going on. Sorry, there's so Troikin much going on with this campaign that I'm not even going to try to cover it all. Okay, all right, it's funded, man. It's funded. Next thing, the Vineyard RPG, 5th edition, and Tales of the Valiant. That's what it's for, the Vineyard RPG. Pretty soon you're going to have like Kickstarter, product name, system, 5 systems, 10 systems. Tales of the Valiant, Pathfinder 2, Dungeons & Dragons 1 D&D, or whatever they're going to call it. D&D, OSE, Labyrinth Lord, Swords and Wizardry, Svyander. Just dump them all in there. They funded by the... Oh, yeah, what? Yeah. They have not funded. That's not going to fund. The Vineyard, it's not going to fund. 50K goal, and they're at 25. They have 1 week to go. That news one funded. I don't know if you guys knew that. The news one I was monitoring pretty closely, it got funding. It was at 150. 150 was the goal. I think they hit 155, like 3 days to go or something. So, yeah, look for that coming. You guys are going to ditch me. I get it. It's so much more polished, Sean. CharCon 2023, the West Virginia Gaming Convention. If you're West Virginia, there you go. They're funded. Go con. Zine Crate Extravaganza from Sci-Fi Epics. RPG zines and boxes, $80. Plus shipping and handling for both RPG zine boxes and 8 zines and pamphlets. If you're an RPG zine head like I am, this project needs to be on your radar. That's the author, by the way. Variety of systems like Mothership, Merkborg, Cyberg, OSE, 5e. It's funded. Of a $2,000 goal. 5,300. Blood Feud. I thought this came around somewhere. Would we talk about this already? Roll for Romance. If I were going to run 5th edition or D&D for Ty Prunty, I would use this. Roll for Romance, a D&D night from Joanna Mazurkiewicz. Mazurkiewicz? Oh, she's got a tough name. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition and Pathfinder 1st edition. I would even be willing to run Pathfinder first edition, mind you. I would even run that for you, Ty, with this. Figured it might dim the lights, get some candles going. We're seeing a variety of romantic RPG options for 5e with Roll for Romance. Price of the Dragon, a role-playing game for couples not suitable for work, as well as Kinks and Cantrips, lightly not suitable for work. Oh. It's way funded. Dungeons Pop. Immersive pop-up tabletop RPG battle maps. I think I glanced at, I think this popped up somewhere and I went through it, maybe my news feed. Now it's being crowdfunded. Pop-up books. I loved pop-up books. Did you like pop-up books? $68. System neutral. That's pretty cool. If you go with the Origin set, you get 3 locations, Tavern, a Ruin, and a Tower, plus 9 pop-up elements that you can use to customize them. Made of dry erase material, you can draw in what you need to for your adventures. Best of all, when not in use, the settings fold up and go into a slipcase. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. 118 grand. God, you could just get that for your kids, right? Like me. $118,000 of a $10,000 goal. Man, crushed. Should have a sound effect. Crushed it. Omen Sacrifice Deck. Although it says Portents of the Begloved Hand from Merkborg. I see. That's the compatible. Where it's from. Publishing. Got it. Whatever. Merkborg. Heavy metal. Source Deck. $45. Do your Merkborg adventures need more Doom? Do they need more Doom? Do they? Yes. Yes, they do, says the author. This project offers coffin-shaped cards with chaos and powers that your players can obtain. 52 cards, each with a new element to bring favor to the character and ruin to the world. These characters trade to get them and use them for effects and opportunities. If your Merkborg sessions could use more spice, that is that spice. Or this is that spice. Level Up, EN World. Anybody know about this? Anybody check into Level Up? We're on EN World site. They're always doing something, putting out something. $3,000 goal, 56K. There you go. Immediate PDF fulfillment. Hardcover fulfillment in September. It's got some cool 5e mods, Chris says. Chris says there's 10,000 to 1 in the kill monster and do high action to pastoral games. Yeah, for sure. That's it for Kickstarters, crowdfunding. At least these that I pull up. Who knows? It's probably bajillions more. Bajillions. Yeah, man. Should I run over my cat with the chair? All right. That's it for today, folks. That's all I got. And we're 10 minutes past 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time as of this recording. Hope you stuck through it. Hey, I should have hit you up in the middle of the video. That's what you're supposed to do. If you like, hit like, subscribe. Hit the like, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. Go ahead, get that, make that happen. Helps me out. Does. So I want to be able to make $0.25 a month on this channel. That's my goal. Thanks, Dad. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. It was fun. The beginning, man, it was like 40 minutes of torturing you guys with making a decision. If I could only put that in a game, package it up. All right, here. Thanks, Chris. Yeah. So let's wrap her up, huh? Okie dokie. I want to thank everybody here and everybody in the past that have supported me and chosen me to give me a few shekels a month. I much appreciate it. It's good to see each and every one of you. It really is. I really look forward to every Saturday morning, even when I go to bed at like 3 a.m. and get up at 6 and cater to animals before this. Anyways, I know you guys probably do the same too. Every first 30 minutes of the show every week should be hypothetical situations that spur chat to provide ridiculous answers. Is that an AI prompt? Is that a chat GPT prompt I should be using, Chris? Too funny. Virtual grog meat. Yeah, that's going on. I should have probably mentioned that. Anyways, do yourself a favor. Take some time to yourself. Spend it with good people and play some games and be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. Yeah. Move, learn, and create. We'll talk to you next week, or check out our Discord where I'm on there every day, seeing what's going on. Some pretty good discussions on there. See you later.